Hello, my name is Jeremiah Griego, and this is my instructional video on how to build a tent. So, first thing you're going to want to do, the most obvious step, is to take the tent out of the bag. Now, as I pointed out in my instructional video, in my instructions, is different tents have different setups. I did the most general one and the one that people are least experienced with, so it's good for everybody. But this tent is called a single person tent, where the name is self-explanatory, where it'll just have one person. So let's get started. So what you're going to want to do is spread out the tent first and identify the individual parts. Now in this tent, there are no parts. Like I pointed out in my instructional video, there's a bunch of different things that are all hooked in together. So all the parts are already jumbled together into the individual tents. You don't have to do that step with this tent. But in every other tent, you'll want to identify the rods and the hooks and the anchors, all the other stuff like that. So you spread out the tent like so. This tent is more like a cot that kind of elevates above the ground. So the first step that I put in the instructional video is not necessary. You don't need to really look on the ground, but it'll still be good to like pick a proper location where, once again, you're not near any water, obviously right next to a street, and if you have a campfire, make sure it's not too close, and make sure you have enough room to exit out, like you can fully extend your head and body. I already checked that. Spread out the tent like so. Make sure it's nice and spread and even. Next, this is the part where you would normally use where you would assemble the rods. But like I said, everything's already connected, assembled. You don't have to do that part with this tent. You do it with most tents though. And like with the other tents, there are hooks and or loops that the rod will be going through, like here and here. Now with an average tent, this pole would go through the loop. Like, see this little part right here? You would have the rod go through the loop, but this has hooks instead, which is the same fundamental principle, with the intention of propping up the tent. Now, this is the step you would normally do for anchoring. You would normally use hooks like that look similar to this, except more skinny. I have a picture in the instructional video where you would go to these points in the tent, right here. Every tent has at least 4 corners, 5, 6, whatever, where you would put a hook right around here, and it'll dig into the ground and anchor the tent down so it doesn't fly away if there's wind, a storm, whatever. This is something that helps support the tent and keep it stable. All you gotta do is hook that part around here and buckle these things together. And tighten it like you would a backpack strap. Make sure that thing is secure like you would on any tent. If you anchor something down, make sure it's secure. Give it a little wiggle, mess it around with it, make sure it's nice and secure. Okay, same thing with the other side. That's secure. And that's to make sure you don't get blown away or fall in your sleep or make this thing collapse on you while you're sleeping. Always make sure your tent is secure when you set it up. Give it a little shake, throw things around, and make sure everything's secure. Now, on the topic of storms, over there. Every tent has a rain tarp. This is to help. You don't always have to put this on. I put it on every time I go camping. See, it just goes over the tent just like that. You don't have to do anything else. And to secure it, it has either strings like so, or hooks that you can wrap around the corners of the tent, here, there, wherever you feel is the most secure. Then you can go into your tent.